Hi Capricorns, Power and Light Tarot coming at you with the reading. Today we have another bomb reading. And we have the cards here, Capricorn, even though I had really set all of them out on camera, right, very spontaneously. But, Mercury retrograde, I guess, is kind of, uh, I don't know, maybe angry or something. So, because, the video came out as an hour, it clumped them. So here we are redoing it, and I hope you guys are well. And Capricorn, we have Sleeping Beauty in the reading, right? So, interesting how when, do your reading, a lot of the times, when I do use these cards, I haven't used them in a while, Sleeping Beauty comes up. So Sleeping Beauty is here, and she's lying in her glass case, right? Maybe it's plastic these days, who knows, right? And so here she lies, and uh, Pisces is here, this little glyph here, which talks about secrets and talks about endings, talks about some really nice stuff as well, compassion and definitely. And so intuition. And so she's lying here, this, Sleeping Beauty, and above her, she's waiting for her prince or her princess charming, and so there she is lying there, and the hands above are going to grab each other. And so she's waiting for that. And she's actually dreaming about this right now. And so around that are all these roses, and this is like a rose bed, but it's a thicket. And so we have all these thorns. So this means love with some pain or something attached to that, right? It does. So before we begin, Capricorn, if you'd like your own psychic reading, you may always get one. They're accurate. I'm a Silva grad. We do them on the phone usually, and they're lots of fun. Yeah, they are. You can get a video if you like. And then after that, we do a tarot spread. And you're right. So this is two different insights. If you'd like a tarot spread unto itself, you may get one of those. I'm analyzing birth charts, which is super empowering. Everybody should have their natal chart interpreted at least once in their life, for sure. Yeah, and then also if you would like a free 5-minute psychic reading with Mystic Sense, that link is below. So without further ado, right, and we also have here jealousy. Somebody's jealous of you, Capricorn. It's not me, all right? And so, no, I'm too busy to be jealous. Yeah. And so, this is some type of a challenge here because it's a 5. So we also have the Three of Swords in the reading. So this reading gets real good, though. It's really beautiful. And the Taskmaster is here with the Vampire. So, there could be 3 people here right now, right? Sleeping Beauty and these 2 men here. And gender is not important here. But we have the Taskmaster, and what he's doing here is, doing a spell. And he's ending something because and it's there's some type of a karmic lesson, because here's the Saturn glyph, right? And Saturn is, about discipline and, doing it can be about doing the work, right? And so 10th house of ambition and things, but it's also about when you don't do the work, that's when the restrictions show up for you, right? And it can be like a karmic lesson. So here is, in back of him is the Holy Grail, which is an arco iris, which is a rainbow. So this is, your happily ever after in your life, right? That's what that is, like eternal happiness. But here he has a skull, and he's doing it, performing a task. And here's the hourglass. So time has run out for something, and something ends here. It transforms. And it's transforming because somebody wants a new beginning with you. They want you to be their Sleeping Beauty, right? So maybe you're just like that, Capricorn, waiting, right? All she has is a little shawl over her, right? Yeah, that's all she has. She have a dress underneath? Oh, maybe a nightgown, maybe. And we also have Capricorn, the Vampire. And the Vampire is somebody who, here's the Scorpio glyph. This is death, life and death, right? Regeneration and, rebirth and, transformation, of course. And with this transformation, somebody ends something because they really want to focus on, like, what is kind of what's left that is very alive to them. Like, it could be like, I'm alive here for, I want to end something, but I'm really living for something that is like full of vitality or very important to me. And that's what the Sleeping Beauty card is about. And we also have trust. And, trust this. It's a number 7. And so somebody thought long and hard about this, and they are trusting. And here's the white light, and it's healing. So they're trusting in some type of a healing or a better future, right? Especially next to the vampire. So somebody looks like they suffered because the vampire, he doesn't leave this world unscathed, or he doesn't come back unscathed, or whatever, right? And, we know the vampires, his daytime life is terrible. He can't see the sun. He has to, that's why he's so pale, right? He never gets any sun. He can't even get a sunburn, right, Capricorn? The vampire, right? Even though usually they're light skinned too, it's funny. But, because during the day he can't be out. He can't be out in the sunlight. He has to be, he's part of the night and part of death and part of the underworld, right? But somebody suffered here is my point. And he's sad. He's a sad vampire, right? Yeah, he wants to suck somebody's blood here, but in a good way, right? In a very good way. And the bats are here in the background, and the bats are rebirth, right? Bats are about transformation and rebirth. Yeah, they are. And we have the jealousy card is here, and somebody is jealous. And we have the talisman card. It's a key. And this is like having the spiritual growth or spiritual wisdom, having the key to what you want, turning the key, right? And it is a number 4. So it's kind of having the key, but spiritual wisdom in order to create stability in your life. Because something was unstable here with the vampire. And then the taskmaster, he's like, no, something has to end, right? So we start the reading with the 4 of Cups, and this is somebody who is rejecting something. And in this deck, that's what he's doing. And, it's a little different, all these decks kind of, based on the traditional, but a little bit different. And, he has a kind of an attitude look on his face, like, I don't want that. He's crossing his arms, and this cup is being offered again. I don't want that. Take it back, or take it somewhere else, or whatever. So he's rejecting something, but he's rejecting something because he wants something more stable or something that makes him feel good, right? This is Cancer, the 4th house of family and foundation. So he wants something that kind of supports him, like the 4th house, or, what that means. And so the 4s are about stability or security, and that's what he wants. He goes, that's not good for me. So, take it away, basically, right? And so crossing that is this challenge with the Justice card. The Justice card, he's a judge, right? He can give you, make you learn some lessons, the judge, right? And so, this justice can be definitely about karma. And somebody's learning a karmic lesson because of the vampire. And really this one too, the taskmaster. Because Saturn is here, right? Saturn is the disciplinarian, right? It is. And so unless you learned it yourself, and then it's great, then it means that your life is 10th house of ambition and authority. You're fully in control of your life, and it's going well, and right, yeah. And so justice sits in the challenge, and clarifying that here is the 3 of Cups. So somebody rejects something, and this karmic lesson and a decision they made has kind of, and through their wisdom, it's been a rocky road to wisdom, right? And maybe it's about rehab for some, because here's the cups over here. Maybe somebody's not drinking. I mean, it's possible, but this is definitely about love, right? The cups can sometimes talk about drinking, right? They can. But this is about either somebody made a decision to have joy in their life or return to somebody who brings them joy. And we have Sleeping Beauty over here, and she brings joy all the time, right? She's just quiet and kind of ready to go, right? She's just like, I'm dressed. I'm like, I'm passionate and everything, but I'll be quiet, kind of. No, I'm just kidding about that part. But somebody here wants to reconcile with you, Capricorn, and you are like the Sleeping Beauty here. It does look like that. Unless you are pursuing somebody who is like that for you, right? Now, justice sits in the challenge, so it could be, it could be a hard road to this wisdom. It definitely could be, right? Maybe there's a Libra here. There could be. And in the root, why it's all happening is the Two of Swords reversed and the Page of Cups. Somebody made this decision here. Remember, the swords could be, about decisions, the mental realm. And they could have been at a crossroad or a stalemate at the time. Maybe because there's somebody else in the picture who's jealous, right? Here's the jealousy card. Yeah, I don't even like that word, jealousy, right? It's because I'm not really a jealous type. But, and this jealousy is difficult because it's a 5. But interesting, the word jealousy, we have louse here, right? And really louse comes from, lice in your hair, right? Yeah, it's really interesting. When you call something lousy, it really meant back in the day pertaining to lice, like something that's like gross or bothering you, right? If you've ever had head lice, right? This is a great reading, right? This is a great subject, right? It's funny. So here, Capricorn, somebody already made up their mind. They got rid of their head lice. Just kidding. And here's the Page of Cups with it. So somebody wants a new start, and they're going to come and tell you this. I'm pretty sure they're coming to tell you this. And sometimes justice can also be about like a verdict, right? The judge is telling somebody something, right? He's got the scales, like, right, you're going to the can, or I'm letting you go, or whatever he's saying, right? And so, but somebody here wants a new start. It's either you or your person, and they made up their mind, Two of Swords. It's almost like they have to do this in order to have a happy life and some type of security, right? And everybody needs a foundation in their life, right? Even if you're like rich, if you feel like, you've got all this money or something, but you don't feel like your life is so stable. I mean, that could be like, well, I want to change careers. I got all this money, but it's not like, it's not nurturing me, or it's not bringing me kind of this kind of security, the 4s, right? So in the past, in the recent past, we see the Fool reversed and the 3 of Swords. So it looks like somebody might feel stupid because they had a third party here. And the third party could be their lower self. And I always say that because that's how it is, right? It could be another person, and that might be jealous right here. But the Fool reverse can be like in the past, somebody just wasn't in their wisdom, like this Justice card conveys. And the Talisman, I have the key to my wisdom. It's a 4. I have the key to my future. What makes me, I know what makes me feel good. I know what I want. I know what I don't want, right? Yeah. Definitely we focus on what we want in this life, though, because you keep focusing on what you don't want, then you'll keep getting more of what you don't want, right? And everybody, the spiritual community, Abraham Hicks will say that, and lots of people, right? But in the past, the 3 of Swords, there could have been heartbreak, disappointment. Somebody could have hurt themselves here because of their behavior here, or because they were not like, they just weren't in a good place, and they could have been foolish. The Fool reversed can be definitely foolish, right? Could be a bad comedian, Capricorn. Just kidding, right? Okay. So we have the Emperor showing up here, and it's another 4. Excuse me, you guys. And remember, the 4s are about security, based on the 4th house of Cancer, right? Cancerians, they like security. Their feelings are really important. So it based on the feelings. The moon is the feelings. It's all about feelings and what feels good, right? Cancers need to feel safe, right? Or maybe in Aries, they're not like entirely, they're not so concerned with that. They're concerned with something else, right? Chasing a dream or courage, or just whatever it is that is on there more important to them, right? The Emperor is here, and it could be Aries, but it's really about somebody who takes control of their life. That's the mindset in this reading. They take control of their life, and in the near future is, it sits here, but this is now. It's all part of this. And here comes the Sun and the little boy. He has the red flag, and this is bringing news that somebody made a choice here. The 2s are about choices. right? And, you know, even this Justice card can be about a choice. There's two scales here. So we have somebody who already made this choice, and they're choosing their power. They're choosing to be happy. They're clear on things. I feel like there was a crossroads here at one point. And the concern here, the concerning message, doesn't have to be a worry. It's like what this is really concerned with, this reading, right? And the Five of Wands, there's challenges here, and the Wheel of Fortune is reversed. Too many people involved for some, but this is like, I'm not on my path. This is not my destiny. It's not what I want anymore. It's like, I realize it's not good for me. So something changes and ends with the Five of Wands. And the Wheel of Fortune reverse could be somebody took a chance in the past, kind of took a chance on something else that didn't kind of work out here. Because there's a recognition here, like, hey, I want to be happy here. And so something ends and something begins, right? Definitely something begins here with the Sun and the Two of Wands and Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, and she doesn't snore anymore, Capricorn. So, you know, that's always a good thing, right? Yeah. And so that can really mess up relationships, right? And so in the environment we have, this is the psyche usually, we have the Page of Pentacles and we have the Devil. And this may be you, Capricorn, but this is somebody who lets go of a restriction in order to have a new start. The Page of Pentacles. Because they value something else now. And they learned a lesson with Saturn here. Yeah, the Devil is, you know, he teaches lessons, right? But yeah, he's teaching these two people. He has chained them and he's teaching, and they're chained together. And they're chained to him. So lessons learned here, but it's because somebody's values change. And this is interesting too, because we have, you know, Jupiter conjuncting Uranus on the 20th of this month. And, you know, this could be values changing because it's in Taurus. In order to expand. In order to do things in a better way. And, you know, I'll be covering that in a video very soon, right? Yeah. So it's going to depend, and I will have the horoscope on your sign, right? Yeah, cover the 12 signs. So here we see somebody who wants a new beginning, a new start, something they really value. There's something that is not valued anymore, right? And the Page of Cups is over here. We know somebody's coming to talk. They're coming to speak. Yeah, they are. And here is the restriction that is lifted. It's released. The Eight of Swords. I have to release this in order to step into my power because it's a number 8. And she could have released herself a while ago. She just was, I don't know, focused on the wrong things, you know. I don't know, looking at silly stuff or whatever she was doing here. But, you know, or she could have been in another relationship, the Three of Swords, or he could have. This genders don't matter here. But the Eight of Swords is a card of, I feel stuck, but I've really done this to myself. And with the Fool reversed above it, it does look like somebody did that to themselves. So here's the release. And in the potential outcome is Temperance. Here's the Queen of Wands here. And when we see the Queen of Wands, we know somebody wants to live a life of passion and inspiration, right? And they want to, you know, go on their own. Like, they just kind of want to trust themselves, right? And so maybe somebody was trusting whatever they were trusting in the past, or I feel like they were just not in their wisdom and their higher self. So now we have the Seven of Wands and we have Temperance, and this is somebody's really overwhelmed here. And this is just, there's an overwhelming feeling here when we see the Vampire. He's definitely overwhelmed, right? And the Three of Swords. So we see this and this jealousy. Wow. But there's somebody who's overwhelmed, and this is like a rejection too. He's, you know, here like the Four of Cups, but there's an overwhelming energy here. Maybe it's about a Sag, Libra, Aries. It can be anybody. Of course, you, Capricorn, but Leo's here. It doesn't, that's not really like completely indicative here for some, you know, for sure. But it's definitely about spiritual growth and self-mastery here and balance and harmony. And we see justice in the challenge. And this is balance and harmony. But it sits in the challenge, right? It can be. Here's the scales. So this is, it's really looking good for you, Capricorn. And I hope I didn't say Sagittarius in the reading. But, I mean, I mentioned the Queen of Wands over here. But you know, here's the Wheel of Fortune. But yeah, this is looking really good for you, Capricorn. Thank you so much for joining me here. And I will pin the Aries new moon solar eclipse, which affects all of us, right? For up to a year. So if you haven't seen that yet on my other channel, I'll pin it in the comments at the top. And thank you so much, you guys. Get your psychic reading on. Get your freak on, right? Thank you so much, you guys. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And go ahead and hit the little bell so you can be notified of my readings. Thank you so much, you guys.